Welcome to the Daily Bolster. Each day we welcome transformational executives to share their real-world experiences and practical advice about scaling yourself, your team, and your business.
Welcome to the Daily Bolster. I'm Matt Blumberg, co-founder and CEO of Bolster, and I'm here today with George Janson. George is a Vistage chair and executive coach, CEO coach. He is a longtime media and advertising executive who I've gotten to know over the past year. George, welcome to the Daily Bolster.
Thank you, Matt, for having me.
Absolutely. So you are what I like to call a student of the game. You like to read a lot. You like to learn a lot, and you like to pass those learnings on to your clients, executives, and CEOs. So I thought it'd be interesting to just ask you, what are your top 3 book recommendations for your clients at the moment?
Great. Well, the 3 books that I'm gifting clients this holiday season are 3 of my all-time favorites, and they are Atomic Habits, Referral of a Lifetime, and The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker. And I thought we'd start there because her book, The Art of Gathering and Why It Matters, I think is extremely relevant and timely, and it's really applicable for both personal and professional gatherings, be they in person or also virtual, which we need to consider in today's day and age. And so I thought I'd share what were the 3 things I found really valuable in this particular book. And the first, I think, is a really potent reminder that we need to be very intentional about the purpose of the gathering and also the why. So why are we asking people to take time out of their busy schedule for our gathering? What's the win for them? And I think most people, they just start the meeting with the agenda, right? Which is snooze, a little bit boring, and not going to get anyone too excited, right? So really putting some oomph into the why. Next is, this may sound a little wonky, but it's establishing a temporary alternative reality for people. And what this means is really getting people to step outside of their everyday roles and routines once they come to a gathering, and creating this environment that really promotes openness, creativity, and engagement. So this could be anything, Matt, from icebreakers to games like the Marshmallow Challenge, which I've done with my groups, which is all about teamwork, collaboration, and even challenging ourselves to change the physical setup of the space. And you can also change the setup of the space different times of the day. And I found this really helpful and useful as a way to get people energized, especially after lunch. And next is to control the ending. And I know this may sound kind of obvious, that a lot of people take the ending for granted. And I think it's just as important, if not more important, than the opening. And I think the reason we sometimes forget about the impact and it can have is because before the meeting's even over, right? People are starting to pack their stuff up, put their laptop away, and, head for the hills before the meeting is officially done. But really, as the host of a gathering, it's our responsibility to ensure that the ending, is really impactful and meaningful to people. And sometimes I'll even ask people to reflect on, in 1 or 2 words, what was the most valuable thing you took away from this meeting? Or who would you like to acknowledge or say thank you to that really made an impact on you during the meeting or showed some support? Okay. So
All right,
that's
I like that. So that's The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker,
yeah.
which sounds like it's about meetings, but it's about a lot more than meetings.
Yes, it's about life too.
It's about life. Okay, what's book number 2?
Number 2 is Atomic Habits by the great James Clear. And I thought this also is very applicable, timely, since many of us are thinking about our goals for the new year. I know I'm working with my clients on this right now. And the premise is that these tiny or atomic changes, if you will, can produce remarkable results. And the reason I really love this, Matt, is because I'm often a go big or go home kind of guy. So he's suggesting breaking down habits into these smaller, manageable steps. And he even has something called the 2-minute rule, which suggests that we start with a task that takes less than 2 minutes. And the thinking is that this short time frame makes it easier to initiate and even build momentum. And who doesn't have 2 minutes, right, Matt, for our favorite habit?
Exactly.
So He also talks about habit stacking, which I never heard of before, but it's about integrating new habits into existing routines by stacking them on top of established ones. So, for instance, I really struggle to meditate. So maybe after I brush my teeth, I set a goal to sit on my couch and meditate for 10 minutes. So brushing my teeth is really the prompt for me to do this every morning. By the way, I've tried this and so far it's working for me.
I
So
I really like that concept of stacking habits. That's gonna stick with me. So
good. Maybe I like the other one too.
yeah,
Uh, it's about making your habits obvious by making cues and triggers for those habits more apparent. So he's encouraging us to design our environment to really prompt these positive actions and reduce, sometimes the friction that we have for our desired behaviors. So maybe I put my gym bag or my running shoes in front of my door, right, at night, as a not so subtle reminder that working out is one of my big goals for the
right.
year. If I don't pick up that bag, at least, in the layout of my apartment, I'm stuck staring at it all day long, this bag that's stuck in front of my door. And so I can feel guilty about it, right, for the rest of the day, which is something I want to do. So very, very practical book.
All right. That's a good second one. Atomic Habits by James Clear. What's
Yes.
what's the third and final?
Matt, do you like making cold calls?
Does anybody?
Yeah, just to call random people to cold call.
I found it a very valuable part of my early career training, but I can't say I enjoyed it.
So I hate it. I really don't like cold calling. And that's why I love this third book called Referral of a Lifetime. And it's by Timothy Templeton. And his big focus is really creating and leveraging strong relationships that we have through referrals. And what he does is break down the actual process of getting referrals bit by bit, and he turns them into actionable steps. And he guides readers on how to navigate each stage from the initial contact to successfully gaining referrals, right? So the outcome that we desire. And I know this may sound like it's too much for some people, but he actually suggests starting your database with the names of 250 people you know, who also then will know another 250 people and so on and so forth, who are your center of influence. And that can help make referrals for you. And he also talks about sending clients you haven't been in touch with for a while, what he calls a confessional letter. It's a way to reignite conversations with that person. So some of my clients have done this, Matt, and gotten very positive results because basically it's humanizing you. And it says, well, I haven't been in touch. You're still very important to me. And can we have a chat?
Hmm.
I also,
That's yeah. I mean, that's kind of disarming. I like that.
exactly. It takes people by surprise.
Yeah.
So the next one I think is really important, especially as a lot of people looking at, their expenses for next year, the overhead, bottom line, so on and so forth, is to establish a referral rewards budget, right?
Mm.
So how much you're doing your budgeting, put money aside to thank the people who made a referral, whether it's sending them flowers, a gift card to their favorite restaurant, or even a bottle of wine. Really, the key here is to try and personalize the thank you based on what you know about the referrer's interest, right? So, if they like golf, maybe getting them a gift card to a country club or something like that. But really important for them to see that you've taken the time to really know and
Mm.
understand them. And setting a budget now, great time. There's many people in active doing this as we speak. So that's my top three, Matt.
Those are all great. So, The Referral of a Lifetime by Tim Templeton, Atomic Habits by James Clear, The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker. George Janson, Vistage Chair and CEO Coach, thank you so much for joining me today. These are all great recommendations.
Thank you, Matt.